Hello, welcome to Pick Central. My name is Martin Mush. It is presented by Barstool Sports. You have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. I am joined here today by Megan. How are you doing, Megan?
I'm good. How are you, Marty?
Fantastic. And Clemmer.
Hello.
Big Ev's here.
Yeah.
We
saw him. We just
were
talking
actually
to him.
talking about the topics we're going to talk about today, and I don't know where he is. I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
I think he'd be an easier guy to find.
Yeah, he might just be sitting at his desk. I mean, that was a fat joke if anyone missed that. Are skinny people allowed to make fat jokes? Like, you're not even in...
'Cause he can make fun of me for being skinny.
I'm in a different category of skinny.
No,
than you.
I can make fun. He can make fun of me for being skinny.
He made a fat joke.
I didn't make that bad of a fat joke. let's explain the context. I said you'd be an easy guy to
we
find.
were like, Big Ev was sitting right next to us, and he's not here. I don't know.
His name is literally Big Ev. I think it's okay to say he'd be an easy guy to find.
I was just in deep debate with Jay over this past debate.
Well, that's what I want to talk. We're going to talk
we
about
were
it.
in I literally looked up and realized it was 12. I was like, oh, fuck.
We're going to talk about that later in the show. If we could put the number up, we're going to take calls more in the second half of the show because I have a couple topics to talk about before, and I'd like you guys to also talk to us about it. As we're going, as we're all here right now, by the way, Za and Ebo will not be with us after August. Ebo's in a couple of weeks.
You make it sound like they're dying.
Well, they are dying. I'm never gonna. I'll talk to Za. I don't know if Ebo will. Ebo will talk to me. They'll both. I'll talk to
I
both.
text you all the time.
Yeah, no, we do. I was
talk.
gonna say I probably won't talk to you guys, but I will talk to both of you.
I would also like to go on record. I'm not sure how much longer I'll be here
And
since I'm
Megan,
in Chicago.
yes.
I
Yes.
mean, I love you guys, but I don't know how much sense it makes for me to call in from Chicago. But if
No,
you guys
yeah.
want me to, I will.
But yeah, we still might. We'll figure all that stuff out.
Whatever
but,
y'all want. It's all up to you guys.
Because they're not dying.
yeah, they're basically.
We're just
dying.
moving.
But yeah, we have a lot of new stuff coming. We got not really changing the show, but we also want to involve the show, the fans more, the commenters. That maybe you'll hate us less if we read your comments, because Brandon's not here and he hates all of you, and we want to actually interact with the crowd. So today, call in 888-786-6522, 888-STOOL22. We'll get to your calls later in the show. First topic, and this is going to be a quick one, but it's something, and Megan, I'm so sorry we have to talk about this, but the world today we live in is disgusting. And it's not even about your political views, all this other stuff going on in the world. It's about going number 2. And I found out about these people in the office that the way they wipe their ass, and it's not the normal, do you wipe your ass sitting down? Do you wipe your ass standing up? I don't care what you do. Do whatever makes you comfortable. These people, and I'm talking about Stephen Che, Dana, and I just found out Jeff D. Lowe. So, Megan, they wipe, correct?
Mm-hmm.
As a normal person would do. They take a long piece of paper, they fold 2 times, wipe. Then after they wipe, with freshly number 2 substance on that toilet paper, they fold again and wipe.
I mean, it's pretty much unlimited toilet paper, especially in the office. I don't understand why we're.
He does it back there too?
Who does?
And they do it? Who?
Y'all are making patty cakes with your
I don't
toilet
think
paper?
that's not normal to give it another fold if you got extra.
Colin.
No,
There's so much toilet paper left.
No. I'm not saying you take 2. Like, I'm saying you take like a good sleeve of it, not
Bro,
like 2 sheets.
When there's poop in your hand on toilet paper, you know what you do? You put it in the toilet
Immediately.
And then guess what? There's a whole roll that you can rip it off to wipe the rest of it.
do you use baby wipes after?
I'm not
prefer
a
to.
You don't. You sick fuck.
I prefer to.
Yeah, you
Wipes
like
is the
dry.
way to
You like
go.
dry poop in your butt. You
What are you
sicko.
talking about? You just wipe until it's
No,
gone.
toilet
I'm
paper
a
doesn't clean
I'm a
it all.
D-wipes guy.
I don't get you.
I finish-
do
you
not.
gotta finish with
You're
the
gonna.
Wipes are great.
You
Finish with the
cannot
D-wipes.
call me a sicko when you're putting poop back into your ass.
Or on
It's
your
not,
fingers.
it's
That's the ma-
folded.
I don't want it on my fingers. That's the whole
Yeah,
thing.
you know.
Holding
You know
poopy
you're
paper.
not having a fucking perfect fold every time. You're getting a little poop on that finger.
Oh, absolutely.
You're literally making a poopy sandwich. And then sticking it back up your ass and wiping again.
What the fuck, Colin?
I'll just say, listen, I'm all about, like, if there's one thing to be wasteful with, it's toilet paper.
Yes.
One thing in your
Absolutely.
life to be wasteful with. I understand people get, like, with food and certain things, like not
Water.
being wasteful. Water, I get it.
This office
Toilet
is
paper.
so gross.
Just go
Mean
nuts.
girls don't wash their hands. There's been poop seen on toilet seats. We have at least 4 employees now that make poopy sandwiches, as Big Ev calls them. This is fucked up.
It's crazy.
Also, Dana wipes from crack to sack.
What?
That's just he's just got a backbone of poop.
We
on
need
his
to send
balls.
him back to like elementary school, or like bring him back to his mom so she can like show him the way she wiped his ass as a child.
I just don't get where someone thought of like, oh, I have poop here, let's fold it more. Like, I never understood how that could even come about. It's like, did your parents teach you that, Colin, when you growing up? Like, is that like how you're potty trained?
Yeah, that's not being potty trained. Like, I know how to wipe my ass.
No. Like,
You
no,
do.
them telling you when you get potty trained, like, hey, Colin, hey, baby Colin, fold that. Don't waste those poop.
You want to know actually a funny story? So my mom was a flight attendant, so she used to go on like 4 or 5 day long trips, and when I was a kid, I would only poop for her. So
That's
when
very
I have
sweet
like
of you.
my nanny there, my mom would come home after like 4 or 5 days, and I would just be in like agony. But I'd only poop for my mom.
That's very sweet, honestly.
It's super special. It's a great memory.
Also, your
that
mom's
you
like,
guys
bro,
share.
just shit, dude. Like, don't wait for me. Stop doing that. You're gonna
You're
die.
tripping her out. You probably gave her so much anxiety. On trips.
Yeah.
Jesus.
All right. We don't need to go further into it because I always hate because everyone. It's like a poop wiping situation is usually like the conversation like, oh, do you recline on an airplane? Like everyone talks about that, but no one. I was stunned when I heard this. I literally had to get up out of the chair. And also, Dana shit himself during the show. Go watch the bracket because the bracket was incredible.
It's out
It's
today.
today. It's
Oh,
out.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's why it's out today. Go watch. Second, let's talk a little MLB. Can we anyway play the audio? Because I told Ebo about it. Sorry, Zah.
We'll get it pulled up.
He's gonna pull it up now. The Yankees are gonna win the World Series. I've convinced myself today when I saw this clip because it makes sense. Me and Clemmer talked about it. It makes sense. We'll get deeper into it when this clip gets pulled up, but I think it's about to start right now.
Deadline, what teams would be most likely to go after? If Ohtani is traded
Yes.
before the deadline, what teams would be most likely to go after him?
Well, you start with the Yankees, the Yankees, the Yankees, the Yankees, the Rangers, the Rays. Maybe a small handful of teams, but there's no doubt. In talking with sources yesterday, they see the Yankees as potentially being the most motivated because Garrett Cole, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, they're middle-aged players right in the prime of their careers. This is the Yankees' window to win now. You bring in Ohtani. Suddenly the Yankees rotation with him involved looks so strong. Ohtani hitting in Yankee Stadium, which favors left-handed sluggers. That's something I'm sure the Yankees would be willing to pay for if Ohtani is made available by the Angels.
All right, so let's break it down realistically. We're not going to do Yankee fan. You're not going to do Met fan. We're reporters right now.
No, I'll always be fair. I promise.
Obviously, and tell me if I say anything wrong.
We're analysts.
Yeah, we're analysts. Obviously, this move makes sense for the Yankees. It adds to their road. If it's Cole, Ohtani, Rodon, that is the best starting pitching there is in
If you're
baseball.
getting the 2022 Rodon.
Yeah, we don't. Which right now we
We had
don't
one starting,
exactly
looked
know.
fine.
He's fine, but okay, That's
that reset is
fact.
terrifying.
that is a fact. Okay, 2, the Yankees have a farm system to give the Angels this trade because
The
they're not.
Yankees absolutely have enough pieces to make.
They
it.
don't need because obviously everyone's like, oh, they have to give up more. They don't because the Angels are giving up the biggest superstar. They don't need superstars. They want full farm system, and also it just makes complete sense for them, and they can give up. Unfortunately, they'd have to probably give up a Volpe or Jason Dominguez or
You're saying, unfortunately, you've been talking shit about Volpe for like the last month.
oh, I'd ship his ass out of here in 2 seconds for
Here's how I see the trade going down, if there is one. And this is totally speculation. I have no idea. But I think the Angels would ask for, it would be Volpe, Jason Dominguez, and Josh Donaldson to make the salaries sort of balance out so no one's getting too hurt. The Yankees aren't getting too hurt by the luxury tax. Going to Los Angeles for Ohtani. And I think that is that makes a lot of sense. And I say it as a Mets fan. I wouldn't want that to happen, but I think if Ohtani went to the Yankees, now you're talking, because what we're talking about, Marty, when you get Ohtani, you're getting two players.
Yeah.
You're getting a great DH who's on pace for like 60 home runs, which is insane, and you're getting a elite starting pitcher. And that automatically then, assuming Judge can come back, assuming Judge is healthy when he comes back, that puts the Yankees, in my opinion, right now, that will put the Yankees as the best team in the American League. Because the Rays have some real pitching issues. Their starting pitching is in trouble right now. They've had some major injuries. Jeffrey Springs has gone down. Rasmussen's out for the year. We know that. They need McClanahan back. So they have some problems. So there is an entry point where the Yankees could go to the World Series if they had Ohtani. I'm not saying they'd win because the Braves are very good.
What is so say the Yankees get him, win the World, or don't win the World Series. I don't think and obviously we can't predict that, but no matter what, I don't care who you give up. I think you have to do this if they are agreeing to it.
Well, no, I would agree, but I think if we're gonna give up Volpe, Dominguez, you have to sign them.
So that's what we're talking about next. A lot of these teams,
you can't lose two well, I'd say one MLB ready player who's playing well, and then a blue chip-esque prospect for
a lot of these teams
for a half a season if it doesn't result in a World Series.
Talking about
gotta resign.
That gives us
pay him.
That gives us the driver's seat to sign him, where we're with him all the time. Say we win a World Series, that's another perk that we're like, hey, listen, let's do this again. It'll be his first playoff series he's ever been in, and we can actually pay him if he goes to the Rays. That's why I don't know if the Rays will do it, because they'll be giving up a lot, knowing they're not going to sign him the next season.
The Rays have no chance of re-signing him.
You know what I mean? Because they're just not going to.
Yeah,
him.
That's kind of what I was thinking. The Rangers could.
Rangers can.
Rangers could also.
I don't know what their farm system's like.
It's
to be honest,
pretty solid. They've been pretty bad for a while. The other team that Buster did mention, I think he should have, is the Dodgers. The Dodgers have the prospects to be able to go get him. Obviously, they have the ability to pay him. Another team to look out for is Seattle Mariners. Robbie Ray went down. He's out for the year. Obviously, he's going to miss him next year. Ohtani does live in Seattle in the offseason. So Ohtani, Seattle, they might think, hey, if we get him, we have an inside track of potentially re-signing him. But the Yankees, though, I will say, as much as I hate to say it, make the most sense of all of these teams. If that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Yeah. The Yankees need to get, you guys have had so many times where you made it to the playoffs and have not made it past the ALCS. It's ridiculous. You need that guy to bring you over that hump.
Oh, I have a weird question, a thought-forward question. If Ohtani were to go to the Yankees and you go to a World Series and lose, would that be the best roster for a World Series team that loses?
No. There's many others. The 90s, the Braves teams that lost in the 90s, they only won one World Series. Going to the World Series is quite an accomplishment. Winning can be tough, but there's been many, 75 Red Sox, there's been many rosters that are stacked with players. You're like, holy shit, I can't believe it.
As of late, yes.
I think that's more what I was thinking, because I'm not a baseball encyclopedia like you are, Clemmer. So 75, I'm not very familiar.
Yeah,
with,
no,
75.
Those teams. Yeah, I'm the same. Obviously, the same.
The Yankees team. I don't know. I mean, you put Ohtani on the team, they become very good. Are they one of the greatest teams I've ever seen? No.
I think
they become very good.
We're seeing one of the best teams be one of the worst teams. The Padres have one of the best rosters, and we're looking at one of the most disappointing. But I don't know. Obviously, we're not going to go far into this Yankee stuff because we hear it. But it's the first time we heard it, so I'm excited. And let me tell you, me and my big friend over here are going to be insufferable if we get
I just want to say
Ohtani.
Those Buster Olney's words, not ours.
Yeah, it's not ours. That's a guy.
The Yankees will figure it out.
Okay, so let me take the other. Let me take the other side.
Those are our words.
The other side of it is the Angels, right? Now, the Angels are not going to want to trade him necessarily. They should trade him. We all agree with that, right? But if you trade him, he's not coming back. That book is closed.
For sure.
So they should trade him because at the end of the day, he might leave anyway. So they have to really read the tea leaves here and decide if we do trade him, your fan base is going to be furious with you.
Yep.
And the greatest player, one of the top players you've ever brought up, Trout obviously is amazing, and the Angels have had some other nice players, but they've never had, Ohtani is a unicorn.
So let me ask you a straightforward question. Do they simply take Ohtani, they have a meeting and be like, listen, be straight up with us. Do we have a chance in signing you again, or or he's just gonna be like, I don't know. I'm gonna look at all my options. Like, is that what they're doing to try and gauge his interest, or it's like we might as well fucking get some? If they can come out of that meeting being like, I don't think he's coming back, we're trading his ass.
Here's what I think, and it probably already has happened, is they should make an offer. They need to go right now and give him a real 10 years, $500 million, whatever their biggest offer would be. And if he says no, at that point, then I think you have to trade.
I agree. Yeah.
I think that they have to be offering him that and also taking calls at the same time.
Oh, they need to be taking calls all the time. They're taking calls all the time anyway. There's been talk about this in spring training. I guarantee it. It might just be the assistant GM talking to the what I mean. It's like very under the radar stuff. But there's got to be conversations. But I think the Angels, if they're doing their due diligence, should make an offer to Ohtani right now, a serious offer. And if he declines it, especially if he declines it quickly, you got to move him.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he gets. Honestly, I hope he just gets traded to another team. I hope it's the Yankees, but I want to see him on a different team.
I see him in the playoffs.
I'm done with it. I'm done with the Angels.
The Angels, they're just in they're just in such a damned if you do, damned if you don't spot.
It's horrible.
They're gonna be mad no matter what. The fans are gonna be mad. You trade him, they're gonna be mad. If he goes for nothing, they're gonna be even more mad in the offseason. I mean, they're clearly. I don't know what they're gonna. I mean, they should trade him. I mean, we talk about they should have traded him probably last year, realistically.
Absolutely, they should trade him
last year at the deadline for sure.
They would have gotten. They would have gotten the entire teams like top 5 farm.
Absolutely.
Do you think if he does go to the Yankees, his likability factor is going to go down? I mean, obviously not for Yankees fans, but for everyone else in the country.
Let's be honest, the Yankees have the most fans.
Well, yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. Besides Yankees,
but you know what? I don't think people I mean, I guess if anyone wants to chime in, if you're he doesn't speak English. He doesn't really do anything to rub anyone the wrong way. I mean, Judge, I feel like is pretty well liked as a Yankee.
That's true.
He's never done anything that would really rub someone the wrong way.
Came up as a Yankee, where it's like this is Ohtani.
That'd be almost even more reason to dislike him.
Oh, I know. I'm saying
Outside
both.
Fans,
people are definitely going to hate.
He's a nice guy. I think if you're a genuinely because I don't think people really hated Derek Jeter till later on.
I don't think anyone's gonna hate Ohtani. They'll just hate the Yankees more, as a team.
Well, yeah, if we start winning and we get cocky, yeah, of course they're gonna, which we will.
Oh my God!
If that happens, we will get cocky and people will.
Oh my God! If he's on this team, I don't think we'll ever talk about anything else.
Who have been the most hateable Yankees?
There's been a bunch.
I know in the last 10 years. So yeah, you can go.
I was gonna go through guys that
Brett Gardner
Brett Gardner. So
I did not care for Brett Gardner.
I think a good thing is who came to the Yankees and was hated. Reggie Jackson, right? It's a good example. Roger Clemens. He was already kind of controversial anyway. A-Rod.
A-Rod was probably the most in recent memory, probably.
Well, who was who the Yankee fans hate, or who the other
people hate?
Okay, so I was gonna say,
people talk the most shit about Jeter.
That's just always happened.
He's a lifetime Yankee. I'm talking about guys that went to the Yankees.
That just came up. The only guys that just came over.
And I think it helps Ohtani too.
Garrett Cole. I feel like people fucking hate him.
Honestly, Yankees
not
fans
just
hate
me.
him at
I fucking hate Garrett Cole.
Beep, 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 beep. I got some breaking news.
Oh.
The sale of the Washington Commanders to Josh Harris could be delayed or even canceled, according to the Washington Post. The complications are related to, at least in part, to legal issues pertaining to the leaking of emails that led to the October 21 resignation of John Gruden as the coach of the Raiders.
So it has to do more with Snyder.
Yeah.
Well, isn't Snyder
going to make Snyder keep the team because emails I don't understand the logic.
Yeah, it's because they basically the whole bit they're making him sell the team because he's such an asshole, essentially.
That team's in shambles. I mean,
ownerships, they've been in shambles forever.
Team's in shambles. That does nothing. I'm just
glad.
glad.
PFT's popped champagne 3 times over this.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Nate keep celebrating.
There have been numerous celebrations of different steps of selling the team.
That is true.
I feel like I've read so many I can finally root for this team now blogs.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, that to me, I'm just glad I'm not a Commanders fan. That's basically what it is.
Growing up in DC, I tried to be a Redskins fan. I really did. The team was just so so terribly run. It was impossible.
I'm also, and you guys could speak to this too, I'm just happy they're in our division.
Yeah, no, it's nice to have.
Now it's a 3-team division, basically.
It's nice to have a misfit team in your division. But
2 easy wins every year.
2012, I thought they turned the corner with RG3, and they even fucked that up.
RG3, I thought.
They royally fucked it up.
They fucked it up so good, so
bad. They picked one playoff game over like his entire career.
Dude, they like the fact that like Chase Young has been like nothing.
He's been hurt. He hasn't played.
I know, but like I think it's just like
That's another. Especially as obviously an Ohio State guy, I don't know really what's going on. It's a very like weird situation.
But he's so
good
talent. No, yeah, they also fucked up. The football team was the best name they've ever had, and
without question, they should have just kept it.
The Commanders.
They should have kept it. It was so
awful.
good.
The football team sucked right away. Everyone's like, "That's all you come up with," and then you're like, "We're the football team." That's amazing.
The football team.
Yes.
The football team.
Like that is amazing. I don't know why you'd go away from that. Speaking about football, we will go into the next topic that Big Ev was late for because I started it. I didn't start. I started the conversation today, and I agreed with Jay. So the conversation that's been going on for a couple weeks now, because all I see on my feed is Cons and Jay like getting really mean with each other on Twitter, and Chase keeps bringing up Khan's stats of like he's attempted 3 passes or something in college. I don't know. Can Stephen Che join a football team right now, an NFL team, no practice, but he gets to know the plays and study the plays and know how these plays work and complete one pass? My opinion is yes. A lot of people's opinion is absolutely not, and I understand that as well. But my thing is because to me, you still have an offensive line that is an NFL offensive. Like if you drop him on the Eagles, who have a great offensive line, you're still going to get a little bit of time. The average throwing, we were talking about this, like 2 seconds. You basically have 2 seconds to throw the ball. You can find a play of a slant, or when you have A.J. Brown there, like you still can 1 out of 30 times. You have 30 times to do it. I think you can get 1. I'm not saying it's going to be easy.
He'd be too predictable.
I love Jay, but no.
But
I feel like
also,
the defenders would eat him alive.
But what about
like their muscle memory and shit? No.
I just think that there's one throw. It could also doesn't have to be the best throw. There's these wide receivers you can catch a lot of throws.
You'd have to get incredibly lucky.
Yeah, there's also
incredibly lucky.
I say no because even given his factors of like he knows the plays, but I'm taking the situation as if they're not treating it like a normal quarterback. They're treating it like Stephen Che is playing quarterback. They're playing 11 in the box. Right. Like he is you almost don't even put someone out wide like on each side. He can't even throw, like he wouldn't be able to drill a throw that far. Like people see it on TV like it's normal. Like if you're in the middle of the field, the far hash is 25 plus yards, 26 yards away. It's 52 yard field. So to just to throw like a screen to the sideline is 26 yards. You have to throw on a fucking rope. If you throw a lollipop, it's getting pick 6 the other way every time.
I'm more
every
saying,
single time. I said I think truly his best chance would be at a shotgun. You put your best jump ball guy maybe like 2 yards off the tackle, like the tight end, or maybe in this if your team is the tight end, your biggest jump ball guy, your best jump ball guy. Put him line him in the slot, but like close to like your lineman, and you take that snap and you grab it, and you just throw it in the air. You put him on your throwing arm side, and you literally just kick the ball and you throw it in the air, and you just pray to God somehow he comes down with it.
100, but that's.
Even doing that like 30 times, I guarantee like a few times he's gonna like bobble the snap.
Yeah.
Or like I'm even giving him that the linemen are playing their asses off for you.
They are. No, they are.
That defense is also saying there is no way Stephen Che is completing a pass.
The offensive line is also trying to show like, look how good we are.
Yes, they're playing their asses off for him, and the receivers are playing their asses off for him. I'm giving him all that.
Here's the other thing, though. I don't think he'd survive. I think
that's what I'm saying.
Like, I don't know if he'd be able to be healthy enough to make 30 passes.
I agree.
They're going to bring everyone after
factor.
him. And those guys are so strong and so fast. Like,
these are all factors.
Is he going to like?
You got to think that nose guard is like the D tackle is going to be like the fastest guy you've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
And he's going to be 6'4".
Oh my
It doesn't matter how much studying he does.
If he tackles you, you're done for the day.
Stephen Che's wrong.
You're done. You're out.
Stephen Che's wrong in the way where he's like, if I do the play calls I want, no, you're not going to know.
Even some of the plays and we also were, for the record, was saying he could have played a pass like behind the line of scrimmage, like I would assume he past the line of scrimmage.
Oh, it's past the line of scrimmage.
Like that was the general. I mean, if you want to get like real specific, I guess like
because I was saying like
obviously but even like a screen, I think it'd have to be like a bubble screen, not like a screen that takes time.
No, yeah,
you have to be like in your hands and like out. But even I think people even understand like the one pass Steven replied to me. It was a college pass where it was like the running back or the tight end ran like a quick like a 2-yard out. I think you'd realize that is a hard pass. Like it looks easy on TV because that's a Division I quarterback who was drafted this year in the NFL to play quarterback. Even if he doesn't make it in the league, he is a phenomenal quarterback. It was DTR, who the quarterback for UCLA was the pass he threw. I think you would completely underestimate how hard throwing like even just like a 5-yard out is.
No,
you have to put that ball. It has the timing, the zip you have to put on the ball. You have to even the situation he said that the guy was by himself. That's still like a harder. Like we see Division I college quarterbacks miss that throw sometimes.
I guess.
And also like people putting on a helmet, shoulder pads makes it so much harder than just playing catch with your dad in the parking lot. It's a totally different animal.
And I understand
with these freak athletes coming down on you.
So fast.
I understand he's 6'3", like he's got some like he's at least like a little bit tall. He's like would actually be like height wise.
He's
like
fast too.
Match up. But fast compared to like a normal guy, sure. But he'd be the slowest guy in the field by far. He'd be compared to them, he's a statue in the pocket. His only chance to be you have to catch the snap clean. And I don't even know how he really.
Also,
maybe if he can rip one like a 10, like a screen where the bubble guy's like 10 yards away, maybe. And I think it would take. I think he'd fuck it up a bunch of times before he did it if he was able to do it.
I was saying his football IQ, which I feel like we would think is going to be like relatively high as QB IQ, would absolutely go to like 0 once he's behind that.
Yeah,
you're going to be so fucking nervous.
Yes,
like you're not going to know what play you're going to like. What play he thinks he's calling is probably not what he's actually calling.
When Nick Bosa's crashing down on you on the edge, your ability to process information. NFL quarterbacks, they can't do it. Like they don't know what to do.
You guys sometimes like
they've dedicated their lives to playing this.
Right. Devil's advocate, though, why I could see it. You still have 10 guys on that field that are also the fastest, the strongest, helping you.
You're as strong as your weakest link.
I understand.
And your weakest link is playing the most important position on the field.
But you only need it's way harder for the defense where it's one.
Just one is fair. That's fine.
And say you have a slot guy and you just fucking bang quick.
But I think the slants it's getting pick six the other.
Not even slant, just turn. It could be a fucking right there on the line of scrimmage.
No, but I'm saying the defense is going to play press coverage on you.
I get that
because you cannot.
Then you also have 29 other ones where your other one where you just throw it up and hopefully AJ Brown.
That's why I think the throw it up.
AJ Brown can fucking catch anything.
Your throw it up is your absolute best chance. I think
it's not a Barstool team playing an NFL team because that'll never happen. You have a fucking legit offensive line and amazing receivers. That's where you have a chance.
So in Che's defense,
Za, what are you saying back there?
I was saying to these guys, and they think I'm crazy. I think he completes like 5 passes.
I do too.
No,
I do too,
no, I don't.
Football, I love you. You're nuts.
I mean, no disrespect to the game, but it's not technique based. So you don't need to grow up. Actually, you're throwing a football. I mean. You're throwing a football. Look out for the defenders. You got 30 goals. You complete 5.
I love that Za said. No disrespect, but it's not a technique.
I think you just disrespected anyone that's ever played quarterback in the NFL.
Like soccer that
I will say it's not a round ball, so it does bounce funny.
I was going to make that kind of that point, Megan. Exactly. Like things can happen. Though passes can get tipped. So the idea that just one is like a 0 probability, I say that's bullshit. Now, I wouldn't bet on him, but I think the idea that him completing 1 is not impossible. If that makes any sense.
There's luck. Like I said, he could get lucky.
It happens. With a eyes fall down every once in a while.
Like, if he just took a snap and threw it straight in the air, maybe like the right guy could come down.
Like Megan says, it's not a round ball. It has crazy bounces. Things can.
But 5 is insane. Like I said, I understand. We see this is what we got deep into because I brought up the Kendall Hilton example, and to me, without even this discussion, that even like sobered me as a fan. This dude played quarterback in the NFL, or played quarterback at Wake Forest for 2 years. Started, threw touchdown passes, was a legit quarterback in the ACC. He played a full, in emergency, but they were during COVID when all their quarterbacks had COVID. He played a full game of quarterback for the Denver Broncos. He completed 2 passes. I understand it's different in the sense of they were trying to win a football game as opposed to Stephen Shea would not care about the score. He is simply just trying to complete a pass. And I understand if Kendall Hilton's only goal was not to win his complete passes, he would have completed more than 2 passes. But I still think that just goes to show how incredibly difficult
how hard it is. It is
the guy that played ACC-level quarterback, and I guess he hadn't played quarterback in probably a couple years at that point. He was a receiver at this point. But he still
go to all the practices.
He was lost.
Kendall Hinton, 2017, at Clemson, 14 for 30, 203 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Against
Clemson,
who was winning national titles.
Yeah.
And this guy was lost.
This guy's an elite athlete.
He was lost.
One of the greatest athletes in the country.
Was the thing, he was probably an all-state quarterback in high school, was recruited Division I schools to play quarterback, and played and started numerous games. Only he ended up losing his job to Sam Hartman, who is now they're going to be as a freshman, who's going to be NFL draft pick, who could be a high-round draft pick next year. The other guy he lost his job to was John Wolford, who was the Rams backup. He's a legit NFL quarterback, backup but a real quarterback. This guy's, he's not a bum. He's a real guy. And he could barely complete a pass.
You're right. I remember that game. He looked lost.
He looked lost. He looked like a guy who hadn't played quarterback. I couldn't even imagine what a guy who's, and listen, Shay, and I'm not someone who says just because you didn't play the game, you can't know ball. But if you didn't play the game, you can't play ball. So I'm saying
it's not about knowing, bro. I know
Shay knows ball.
I know a shitload about baseball. You don't want me playing shortstop for you.
But the thought that he could play quarterback and complete a pass in a game is just crazy to me.
What level of football would you have to drop him down to where you'd be like, oh, he could do it?
High school.
D3.
No, he could complete a pass in some college, I'm sure.
Division I?
No, not D1.
Not even complete a pass? A pass? The thing, though,
it is a big drop off, but it's still a very high level.
The other thing too, though, is once you start dropping, your offensive line drops. So now you're not getting the same.
Everything drops. Of course, the receivers are not as good.
Right,
everything
exactly,
drops.
Right.
I think maybe a lower level college. Power 5, he'd be in trouble.
Netflix just came out with that quarterback show that highlights Mahomes, Cousins, and Mariota. I watched the first 4 episodes. If you watch that, Kirk Cousins gets absolutely demolished in it. If you watch that, you will say Stephen Shea has 0 chance of ever completing a pass. It's unreal.
Yeah, but
if you watch if you really
he's
realize
staying
how
in the
good these
pocket
guys are.
more. He's trying to get he's trying to get a big play. He's trying to let a play develop. We're not trying to make Stephen Shea develop a play.
But that's what makes it even harder because Stephen Shea's not out there looking at reads. He's looking at one guy, they see that shit so easily.
We're not saying a read.
There's no reads.
I'm more. I understand.
There's no way he can make
what you guys
a read.
are saying, but it's also 1, and it doesn't have to be more than 1 yard. It could be right on this line of scrimmage where it's I'm not saying it's the easiest thing, but 30 times you have the world class receivers, there's a chance.
Marty, you also think you could hit what?
He needs to hit 100 in the
MLB?
Oh,
come on.
We're also working on this.
Let's all bring ourselves back to a humble reality that we
And Marty at least actually played college baseball.
Yeah.
Shay's never played football before in his life.
Marty's also.
And that's not me trying to poo-poo him. It's just a fact.
I mean,
I'll poo-poo Marty.
I am going to a Savannah Bananas game, and before the game, they are going to pitch to me.
And I'm going to go to the game and I'm going to laugh at you.
Okay. So,
but that's even.
I'm different.
I will be.
We're different.
I'll be rooting for you, but let's keep in mind, even that's not batting 100 in the major league.
Well, they're professional.
They're minor leagues.
Yeah, but some of them have played there has been. I think there's 1 or 2. I looked it up that played at.
But if you're saying hit 100 in the majors, that's you're getting you're saying for a full season was your claim.
Yeah, well,
that'd be you're gonna face some Garrett Coles, you're gonna face some not as good guys, but you're getting a mix of a little bit of everything.
You should go against Fat Manoah since you hate him so much.
I know.
That'd be funny.
You should
he wants to rip one so bad off Fat Manoah. I want to.
100 at bats against him. What's your? And
I'll even give you the pitch clock has to matter.
Pitch clock has to matter.
I'll even give you that. I'll let you have that.
What you get 100 at bats against him? What's your slash line?
Oh, I'm batting 250 off him. Alex Manoah is a fat.
You're getting 25 hits off him?
Yes, he's a fat.
You are an insane person. He just made
He's a minor league pitcher.
No, he just made a start. He did well.
Good for him. He's a minor league pitcher. Got sent down for a reason.
In
He got
100,
sent down, got sent right back up.
Wait. I'm sorry. What'd you say yesterday?
What?
2 starts. That doesn't matter. He made 1 good start. Don't contradict yourself, Clemmer. Don't contradict yourself, Clemmer.
Okay, so what I said yesterday was that some guys should be sent down. I think Manoah should have been sent down, but you have to bring him eventually, give him a chance, and he's pitching better. Obviously, it's not just physical with him. There's some mental stuff going on, right? Like his decline was so horrible. He's so horrible.
The Drake curse.
But Marty, the idea that you would get, I think you'd be able to make contact 10 times.
I mean, you said bat 250. I was gonna say that if you put the ball in play 25 times, I'd blow you. You put it in play. Put in 25 bats. If you put the ball in play,
I'll take the sloppy seconds.
Okay, you would both. You both would be right here.
I'll get the ball.
I guess I'll just be the cuck in the corner.
You put 25 balls in play.
You both would
100
be
at bats.
live on this show on your knees because I would.
Even a week. I'll give you a weak rounder to the pitcher. That counts. Like I'd say that was impressive. I'd genuinely be impressed. I'm not.
too.
And I'm not like patronizing you. I wouldn't put a ball in play.
I wouldn't. I'd be flailing like crazy.
No chance.
I can.
They can throw They're throwing fastballs, curveballs, all kinds of shit.
Oh my
God.
He would look like such a fool.
He's gonna hit you with like a 95-mile fastball.
I'm batting
a curveball. You're gonna jump out of the box, and they're gonna say strike 3.
If any MLB pitcher in the MLB who's played in MLB, I'm batting 333 right now in my life, so I'm winning right now.
And who's
you're better than the average guy for sure.
Well, I saw Marty swing.
I'm sorry, I'm batting 500.
That just went up pretty high.
I'm 2 for 4.
Okay, what happened? How'd it go?
I went 1 for 3 against Anthony Kay.
Okay,
he was in the major leagues for a while, and then I went 1 for 1 against Greg Weissert, who was on the Yankees.
Okay,
that was in college or what? High school?
After college, like in a league where like you're still trying to play.
Got it. Like a pro.
What league was this?
It's like
it's like kind of like the Hamptons League, but it's like a little below.
Was it wooden bat?
Yeah.
And why were you in that?
I was just about to ask.
Because I was good.
Yeah. I've seen your swing. It's horrible.
It doesn't matter what swing looks like when you bat.
Marty, why don't you stand up and show us your swing?
Yeah.
Marty's got a decent swing.
I'm sure
he played baseball.
Yeah.
Well, let's show off a little bit. I want to see the move.
But also, against the last time I watched you hit, you struck out.
I'm trying.
That was the Jackals.
Did that game count? It got rained out.
He did foul a ball off. I will give him.
All right.
He did.
I could do.
He did foul a ball off. I will give him.
Back.
That's a
right off.
Straight back.
Oh really? Yeah, you're right on it.
Right
Until
off.
you struck out. How'd you feel when you struck out? You were like such an idiot.
Well, and also the pitcher told him, "I'm throwing you a fastball down the middle."
But I thought he was kidding.
No.
I hate those mental games. Those mental games are the worst.
No, but that's Marty played his own mental game. He told him the truth.
Well, I think we all can agree, Marty. Mind games end up being Marty.
Then he threw me a curveball. I was like, "Well, you're a pussy. You could try and throw a fastball by me."
Well, then he told you it was.
But see, you're like, "Oh, he's a pussy." Like, what are you gonna be like? "Oh, Manoah, you're a bitch."
If I knew it a whole season, I wouldn't care. I'd be much more calm. I'm trying to get someone from. I don't want to bother Will Compton, but I just texted a couple people to see if they'll call in and in the next 20 minutes to see if a normal person can get a completion in the NFL.
Will was adamant, no chance.
Yeah. No, but I also will say, if I was in the NFL, I'd say absolutely not, because you know how hard it is to get to the NFL. So there's no way you're.
Yeah, they are in the know.
Yes,
they would know more than anyone.
They almost like they understand. Almost like when major league players say something about you not hitting 100. It's almost like they're right.
Any professional player thinks that no one can do anything besides them. That's a fact.
But there are because I'm like there's such elite levels of athlete, like they're superheroes compared to the average Joe.
Right.
Even I'd be curious to ask Will Compton how many passes he thinks he can complete in an NFL game.
That's a good question.
Well, Will
obviously he's a linebacker, but I mean
great athlete,
obviously very good athlete, played in the league for 10 fucking years.
Understands plays and stuff.
Understands, knows football, has played the game. I wonder how many passes he thinks he can complete in an NFL game under the same circumstances.
I interned for a minor league baseball team when I was in college, and how fast these guys are, how strong these guys are. These were guys that were in the major leagues and that weren't good enough for the majors anymore, and they went to this league, and it was crazy when they threw pitches, how it curved, how it dropped, how it moved. They are really like real life superheroes. They're so strong, and it's wild.
I mean, the average person who stopped playing sports when you're like 17, 18, these guys are like in their physical prime. They've been doing this their entire life. There's like taking a snap and imagine a 6'5", 270-pound defensive lineman who's shredded to the gills. He looks like fucking Hercules. He runs a 4.5 coming down on you. You're gonna shit. You're gonna be like shitting yourself with the ball.
Who's more delusional, Marty or Che?
Who has a better chance?
Who's more delusional? Who's crazier? They're both crazy. Who's crazier?
I think Che seriously thinks that.
Well, Che's thing is much less like
he thinks that if he called the plays, that's insane.
Well, that's
that part is delusional.
Well, also,
but if he closed his eyes and just threw it,
we
definitely
got into the argument of him establishing the run. I'm like, that wouldn't matter because they know you can't throw anyway.
Establishing the run.
They would just stack the box.
Establishing the run is crazy.
Whether you're throwing the ball or not, they're stacking the box.
Yes, they are.
And they're playing press man coverage.
The run is crazy. Saying that you can.
It was funny saying that he established the run. That was funny.
Is outrageous.
What a Che thing to say too.
Establish the run.
Did you see the clip on PMT yesterday about the Eagles running or QB sneaking the ball the entire field?
Yes.
I think they could do that.
I almost kind of think they could too.
I think they could too.
With Jalen Hurts, he's like the prototype of running that play.
That would be pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. Just watch.
They basically argued that, or people that watch, they basically argued that if they could literally run it on like first down and just run it like 4 times in a row, and just pick up first down.
You just need 2.5 yards,
down
right?
The field. I said, yeah, I guess 2.5. Yeah,
2.5 yards every time. Boom, boom, boom.
3 yards of play, you're guaranteed first down every time.
Let's take a couple of calls here. Let's talk to our guy, Dakuchi. What's up, dude?
Dakuchi.
What's going on, Marty? All this football talk's got me fired up. I got a football future for you guys if you want to hear it.
Please.
Do it.
Awesome. I like Jerry Jeudy to lead the NFL in receptions at 25-1. Obviously, we know what Sean Payton did with Michael Thomas back in his Saints days. I think we see a bit of a rebound from Russell Wilson throwing the ball. I don't think they're going to be stretching the ball like they did in Seattle. I think Payton's offense will kind of be incorporated pretty quickly, and Jerry Jeudy should be lined up as that X receiver where we saw Michael Thomas kind of the check down route after the first little bit of the play breaks through. And I think he's going to have a big season. I think they're going to throw the rock a lot. I don't necessarily love their running back, so they're not going to be running the ball a whole lot. So at 25-1, I think Jerry Jeudy, most receptions, a little coffee money, a little pizza bet. I think it's worth a sprinkle.
Gucci, don't hang up.
Thanks so much for having me on.
Don't hang up real quick. You still there?
Sounds good. Yes, sir.
Did you see that video on Twitter also of Jerry Jeudy's route running? Because that's why I love this pick.
Yeah, I did see that. I placed this about a week ago. I think it definitely maybe didn't move the market that much, but the guy's a savage. He's been underutilized.
But it helped your mindset of the bet, right?
Pardon?
It helped your mindset of the bet. Like when you bet it and you're like, holy shit, look at this guy's route.
I saw that video. I knew I didn't waste the $20 I bet. I felt like at least at this point, with that video out there, we're going to be laughing no matter how it unfolds this NFL season.
Thank you, Dakuchi.
Good logic there.
Yeah.
I'm a believer. I'm a believer in the bounce back Broncos as well. I'm a Jeudy guy. I like Jeudy.
I'm fully.
I think he's just been this far where he was injured and they've just had poor quarterback play.
The year before he was hurt, right? And then last year was such a disaster with Hackett. Like you almost have to throw that year out.
I'm gonna say something. I have a source, a quarterbacks coach that I cannot name who it is, but said that one of the worst people that he ever worked with was Russell Wilson.
Oof. I do
I've actually heard that before too.
Like I do feel like there has like later in his career there's been kind of like a transformation, and I also think if just kind of like observing from afar, seeing how much that Seattle team kind of rallied around Geno Smith, it almost like they respected him more than they did at Russell towards the end. Where you remember when Russ first came in, he's a 3rd round pick, endearing, he's like the chip on his shoulder, counted out guy. Then you win a super early. You become this phenomenal player, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. You start dating Sierra. I think there becomes this transition of like you're this superstar, kind of like selfish, like Mr. Unaware, Bible banger, Mr. Unlimited, blah, 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 like all this. I think that just becomes very unrelatable to your teammates.
I think if you look
Geno Smith, the guy, but knocked on his ass, got back up by his bootstraps, like worked his way back.
Look at some of the quotes or lack of quotes in the Seahawks when Russell Wilson got traded. And then B, like you said, when Geno was there, oh, we love Geno. It was almost like a passive aggressive way to be kind of like fuck
absolutely
Russell Wilson
for sure. I think
I believed it too. And he's a guy who's still in the league, like he's like still a coach.
Yeah,
he's like I can't wait to work with this new.
I think there's a reason. Like they think that he's young enough. They could have tried to build around him. They didn't want to pay him. Like, and no one knows better than the guys in your locker room. And I'm a big Pete Carroll guy. phenomenal coach. Obviously, won at both levels. I mean, they've been good pretty much the whole time he was in Seattle to besides 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the writing was on the wall in the sense they were done with him. I think there was a reason why they were done with him.
And you look at the pieces they got back too. They got all those picks.
They did pretty good. They did pretty good with it for sure.
Let's take Easton.
Hello.
Yo, what's up?
You got me?
Yep.
Great
Hey,
name.
Let's talk about this John Rothstein thing because this is getting ridiculous. John Rothstein would tweet out if South Dakota State was playing the School of the Blind and give credit. You got to give Rico a little bit of credit. We're all the riders sitting here chomping on the bit. We're pulling the chain. My neck's bleeding. The chain hasn't been unleashed. We need to get unleashed. Give the guy some credit. He saw the text. He knows it. He thinks he's seen gum on the shoe. You haven't seen gum on the shoe yet. We're ready. The riders are ready to go. John Rothstein needs to give Rico a little bit of credit.
Listen,
I like that.
I like to fire it up. If Rico was here, I would be like, let's rob around him. But as of right now, the only information I know about this is that John Rothstein told me when Creighton and Alabama are playing. Big Ev, do you agree?
Easy got me fired up. I kind of want to ride with Easton.
Oh, I do too. Can you imagine if Rico was here right now? I'd be like, let's fucking go.
The name Easton stands out. He's definitely called before. I remember the name for sure. I also Rico got me fired up too. The one time we saw me, he's like, my guys are just chomping at the bit, and then he verbalized that, so I appreciate that.
I mean, they can't. You got to keep.
He did tweet you can't play a game without a date.
You can't.
How would you know when to put it on?
But John Rothstein is the only person I've seen so far. Unless if he was here, I'd rah around him.
I can't wait till on Monday. Rico said there is a call being made. There's gonna be a phone call with I believe at least Dan on the call as I assume the mediator.
Because I was gonna say Rothstein won't answer.
He wants a you're right. That's what Rico wants. He wants John Rothstein to say, you're right, you had that.
Rothstein will. I'm going to tell you right now, I know Rothstein better than Rico, and he won't.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think he will either.
He won't, and I think that there's no way even with Big Cat, I don't think Big Cat has all the power in the world. I think that John Rothstein takes this so seriously and will not tarnish anything of his name of having to tell Rico Bosco that he's right. Especially
Not
over
to make
something.
this about me, but I beat him in a handicapping contest whenever it was we were in the bubble.
Wow.
So shout out.
Congrats. Not to
Also,
make it
Jeff
about you,
Nadeau
but it was
was in
about
there.
you. But yeah, no, I loved it. I like that call. Who's been on the longest? Let's go with what's up, Ben?
Hey, what's up, boys?
What's going on?
I just want to give you guys a couple of futures for college football and NFL.
Hit us.
First off, Iowa to win the Big Ten West. They're at 450 right now. Fucking hammer that. Put your fucking life savings on that responsibly. Second off, the Cincinnati Bengals to win the Super Bowl this year. It's gonna fucking happen. Hooday. Go Bengals.
You're definitely.
And last thing I want to say is shout out chat, dude. Shout out all the boys in chat. Sab Rossi, I know you're a Steelers fan. You suck for that. You're cool. Cincinnati Bengals to win the Super Bowl. Iowa Hawkeyes to win the Big Ten West. And you know what? Put a half a unit on Iowa to win the entire Big Ten West. Maybe we'll upset Ohio State. Maybe we'll upset, I'm sorry, Ev, but might upset Ohio State. Might upset Michigan. Depends on whoever we have to face in that game. But Iowa
Can I
Hawkeyes,
ask you a quick question?
We're coming for fucking blood this year.
Can I have a quick question?
Yeah, what's up, dude?
Are you a Bengals and did you go to Iowa?
No, I actually went to the University of Nebraska. I'm the biggest Will Compton hater. I'm the biggest Hawkeye fan in the world.
I thought you'd love him.
No, I went to Nebraska, but no, I fucking hate them. I born and raised a Hawkeye fan. I went to Nebraska because I'm from Nebraska, in-state tuition. But
I have a question, Ben. Did you think the Bengals were going to win the Super Bowl last year, before the season?
Last year, the Chiefs were the biggest issue, and we lost to the Chiefs last year in the championship, AFC championship. Did I think we would beat the Eagles? Probably not. I thought we had a better chance against the Rams when we played them the year before than we would have had against the Eagles. But
I don't know before last season if you thought the Bengals were going to win the Super Bowl.
When we made the Super Bowl and when we played, what do you mean? We didn't go to the Super Bowl.
I know before the season.
Before last season.
Before last season.
What were
Do
your
you think the
thoughts?
Bengals were going to win the Super Bowl?
did I think we could win? Yes, 100%. I thought we could win, and it was a sad. I cried for hours at a bar.
Oh man,
it was sad.
Honestly, I thought they could win too.
Yeah, very good team.
I thought we could win, and I mean, it was a close game. We could have won.
I bet I'm gonna win.
It's sad, but bet Bengals plus 900 win Super Bowl. Hammer that, and bet I would have won the Big Ten West. I mean, that's free fucking money. The only team we have to worry about.
There's no free money. It's responsible. I had to hang up on Ben. That's a quick finger. There's no free money. Nothing is free in the gambling world. Gamble responsibly, because I can't have Ben doing that. You know.
I like Ben though.
Ben was a good
Put
call.
that finger up again. That finger that's a lot of power in that finger.
I'm one of the probably the biggest Joe Burrow guy that's like not a Bengals fan. So
I gotta
I was beating the drum for him heavy last year.
I gotta answer this one. Chris, what's your poop question? Chris. God damn it! The one I was excited.
Can you hear me?
There we go.
Sorry. Okay, so I'm kind of standing up for Dana on this a little bit, not too much. For girls, this is not the case. For guys, what are you worried about? Getting shit in your pussy? Why are you wiping front to back? Why are you wiping front to back? Why are you wiping shit on the toilet seat when you're wiping your asses? Wipe back to front, wipe your ass, drop it in the toilet.
Why do you want shit on your nuts?
Drop it in the toilet.
Yeah, well, you still have nuts.
You wipe it off your nuts.
Oh.
Why even? That's an extra step. It doesn't need to happen.
It's not an
How
extra
do you know
step.
if you get it
Wiping
all
your ass-
off?
Wiping is an extra step.
I'm wiping my ass, then I'm wiping my nuts.
You're wiping your ass. If you happen to get shit on your nuts, you wipe it.
Seems like an unnecessary step, though, Chris.
I think if you're wiping from that way, you're probably like holding your balls up.
How Chris? Tell me this: How are you the other way when you say we're doing it the wrong way, wiping on the toilet?
You know that guy, whoever shit on your guys' toilet out there at the workplace?
Oh, okay, got it.
Whoever wiped their ass back to front, smeared it on the toilet seat, you're going to have the decency to wipe it off the toilet seat. I've heard of guys who smear shit on the back of their shirts and have to go home because they wipe.
What?
What
never heard of
We live in a society.
No.
We live in a
No.
society.
I'm not gonna. No. I'm not.
Their shirts are so long in the back, wipe and clip it, and they're like, "Well, I'm
This
done."
is fucking 2005.
Chris, I'm gonna tell you something.
Why is everyone's shirts going to
Someone
their
at your
knees?
work,
Well,
if
this
someone
is
at
a while back,
Barstool
I heard it, but-
has ever comes out of the bathroom with shit on their back, they should be fired
Done.
immediately.
Done.
Never be hired.
Careful with that, Marty.
No.
That's not-
I
that's
want
not-
you to fire me. I want you to fire me. I'm telling you, fire me.
What's the better chance of happening? Jay completes a pass, or someone has shit on their shirt? I think someone has shit on their
Someone
shirt.
getting shit on their shit,
This place?
100%.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, you
And
can.
we've already had someone shit all over the toilet seat.
You are fired. You
This-
can.
I don't think they
We
did.
have all grown men and
wiped
women
their
working
shit
in
on
this
the toilet
office.
No, you can fire me if I get shit on my back. Let's take a little last call here.
If I'm home, I take my shirt off when I shit.
What?
Dio,
If you do the whole George Costanza, you get like.
what's up,
If I'm at
Dio?
home, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey guys, congratulations, Marty. That shit was awesome. Big fan.
Very nice, Dio.
Big Ev, I need you to lock in here though, buddy.
Let's go, Dio.
USC fan. I've been a USC fan my whole life. We're going to the Big Ten, and I'm 100% ready to dominate. I'm 100% ready to see Ohio State beat the shit out of Michigan for the next 10 years plus.
Sounds good.
They're going to dog stomp them for the next 10 plus years, and it's going to be the USC Ohio State Invitational for the next 10 plus years. My question is it time to move away from divisions? Can we just do an overall what the Big 12 does? Everyone plays each other. That way Penn State doesn't have to run away from us. Michigan doesn't have to run away from us. From that, if we played Michigan before they get to Ohio State, they'll have 3 losses by then, dude.
So from what I've seen, at least, I think that's a real possibility, especially with you guys in UCLA coming over. I don't think anything's concrete yet. My understanding is I think that's a very strong possibility that it just becomes one big division, which I'm in favor of as well. I agree with you. I think it's, and especially the way, listen, things change over time. Things obviously there's shifts and things like that, but obviously the way it is right now, the West is just so much more, the East is so much more dominant than the West. But no, I agree with you, and I think USC is gonna be very good going. I mean, you guys got the defense. If the defense is even like a little bit better than it was last year, I mean, you guys are a real threat for sure, no doubt.
Very funny for Booze to not do any breaking news on this one, but James Harden still wants out of Philadelphia and is determined to end up with the Clippers. Funny that didn't come up
reported
in this show.
I will say Booze is not in the booth anymore right now.
Actually came out. I think that came out pre-show.
Sam Amick, NBA
okay,
writer.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. So
it makes sense.
But this is where Damian Lillard and people like James Harden and what LeBron did, it is a little bit annoying where it's like I'm determined to I'm only going to this team. Where it's like, I don't know. I don't like when the players are completely telling you where they want to go.
If they have a no-trade clause, that's fine.
The NBA.
But if you don't have a no-trade clause,
I know it's the NBA. They just do it. But yeah, they
do whatever the fuck
they all can do whatever they want. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter anymore. It's like they can literally say like I'm going there.
Like Ohtani, he gets traded. He has no right of refusal.
Yes. Baseball doesn't really do that.
Unless you're a 10-5 guy or you have a no-trade clause.
Yeah, isn't the only one that had? Who's the only one that still had a no trade clause
in the NBA?
Was it?
I know Melo.
It was Beal.
Melo.
Bradley
Yeah, Beal.
It was Beal. That's right. That's why they got nothing back for him. Right.
Yeah, it was Beal.
I know Melo was like the last one before that. I know Melo did for a little bit on the Knicks.
We didn't talk about it, but we have 20 seconds. The ESPYs last night, Lil Wayne's rap I thought was really cool.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was very, very cool.
William Hendricks had a great speech.
Damar Hamlin was very, very, very cool as well. Yeah,
very
Hendricks.
Moving.
Everything was. It was. I didn't watch it fully. It's not like appointment television anymore to me, but it was. I saw a bunch of the clips and it was very good. All right, that is the show. We will see you guys tomorrow. The Yak is up next.